Hey guys, welcome back to JoshL2. Look back at all these fabulous levels I designed 7 years ago. 7-ish years ago, somewhere along those lines. Anyway, we left off on Maze of the Year. After I watched back the previous video, I realized how boring it was. I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep watching it back twice. So, if it was boring to you, I apologize. I kind of rambled about the same thing over and over again, but I'm gonna try not to do that here. I mean, I'm probably a boring person to most people, but that's besides the point. um, so yeah, this is, if the title didn't make it evident enough, it's a maze with a bug in it. Most people would find that pretty irritating, but honestly, a lot, by a lot I mean like maybe like two people, two maybe three people at best, felt inspired by this level, which of all levels in the set is a little strange. But this is all the level is. It doesn't take up the entire map. It takes up most of it, granted, but it doesn't use north or west thin walls, which at this point in the set, since I designed all these levels in the order they're in, it's pretty cool. And speaking of which, despite designing all these levels in order and leaving the order in the way I designed everything, the order actually is actually pretty decent, surprisingly. I've been thinking about going back to this set and kind of like not overhaul it per se, not like remake every level. No, I can't do what Zane did with ZK Adventure or such like that. Uh-oh. Oh, pff, shit. I saw that coming. It's okay though. But going back to the set and kind of like rearrange the levels in an order I would be okay with nowadays. Like actually take the time to move to arrange these levels around to a level order that is pretty decent. And I think this is the way you're supposed to go about the maze without the bug disturbing you. The bug honestly isn't that big of a deal. As long as you stay ahead of it, it can't really harm you. But yeah, the placement of this level is actually pretty good. Right after a massive block pushing level, and I want to say the level after this is a Sokoban-ish level. I don't remember though. Uh-oh. Are you really gonna get me twice? Okay, bug, you've had your fun. Now it's time to get serious. I thought I was way ahead of the bug, but apparently I wasn't. Alright, let's take a little different approach to this. The bug can't get me from here. And despite the bug being in this maze, he actually doesn't go along every single corridor in this maze. If you look at this level in the editor, you can see that the bug only follows a certain path, and some of the paths in the maze that lead to chips, the bug can never go on just because it follows. And here's a nice loop I included for whatever reason. There are certain paths the bug can't take just because it's stuck in a certain cycle. of following the left wall. I think that loop I just mentioned actually prevents that, but I'm not 100% on that. And if you're paying attention to the outside of this level, that is the way the exit works. It looks like guesswork, but it really isn't. They both lead to the exit. Again, I might have mentioned it in some video before, but I had a really big knack for things like that. Making it seem like there's guesswork in the level, but only to find out there isn't. I don't know, I always like to surprise people with that. Like, oh crap, it's guesswork. I have to deal with this BS. And they think, oh, I got it right on the first try. And then they soon realize, oh, both ways were correct. I don't know, I've always personally enjoyed stuff like that. I can't speak for everyone though. I'm pretty sure some people despise guessworky type stuff, even if it isn't guesswork. There's the bug. You can't get me from here. I'm too far away from you. But yeah, this level's pretty good though. I definitely like it. Confused to why this inspired some people, but hey, any inspiration I got from the set back then, I like fell in love with. Hell, I still fall in love with the fact when people get inspired by some levels I make. It's always nice when you can inspire other people to design certain ideas. I feel like I don't inspire enough people. I'm not sure if I can fix that. Or I'm not sure if I should see that as a good thing or a bad thing. Like, a good thing is, oh, I have my own unique design style that no one really can copy. That being said, I would be curious if someone could design a level in my style. I mean, take it as a challenge if you may, but I would be pretty. I saw the bug and freaked out. I'd be pretty happy to see that, just out of curiosity. Alright, so we got that chip, got this chip. I think the last 4 are down here, yeah. And conveniently enough, this is the path where the exit's at, or the socket. So we'll just take the right path, because why not? And I don't know why I included ice, I guess just because. But yeah, that's Maze of the Year. Pretty fun. That's far from being the Maze of the Year, but oh well. I don't know why I named it that. It's just a random title, I suppose. I did that with JoshL2. Tower of Traps. I had a feeling this was a trap-oriented level. So yeah, this level is nothing. This is just my attempt at a Sokoban level. It's honestly a pretty stupid attempt, looking back at it. Hey, everyone had their starts, right? And guess what? You don't even need those 2 pop-up walls. I don't know what they're even for. Yeah, this level, it might seem like this was inspired by something, and I want to say at one point it was inspired by something, tower themed or something like that. I don't remember for the life of me though. If it was inspired by something, I definitely didn't give it a creative name. But yeah, this level's nothing. There's nothing to it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I missed the most obvious button. I forgot that was there. That's my fault. Those two Pokeballs you need to use, but the ones up here, for some reason, you don't. Or not for some reason, but... how did I do it? I think I did it like that. I guess I included the option if you wanted to push a block up instead. I don't know. I really don't. So I guess this is as good of a time as any to mention a progress update on JoshL2. Currently there are 58 levels in the set, not including my Flareon signature level. Very close to my 70 level target, which is a good thing and a bad thing. I've been thinking about, and only thinking about, nothing is official yet or anything like that. And just so I don't forget there, clone a block onto the trap button. I've been thinking about actually going farther with the construction on the set. Not much farther. And here's some walker dodging, by the way. Nothing really to it. It's 4x4. It's not that bad. But yeah, that's how our traps. Whirlpool is the next level. Yeah, I planned on having 70 levels because I always like having a different amount of levels for every JoshL set. JoshL6 did have 90 levels at one point, and that was meant to be the final amount. But I got inspired to build even more for the set, and at the time I didn't think JoshL7 was going to happen, so I just decided to add those levels to JoshL6 because why not? That being said, I kind of wish I didn't add them to JoshL6 now. I guess I should have kept them for JoshL7, because if I did keep those 59 extra levels I made, my JoshL7 would be over 100 levels, but right now it'd be at almost 110. Which, if that was the case, I would design 40 more and call it 149. But there's 58 levels. I'm thinking about expanding the total to like 75, maybe 80 again, like JoshL4 had. I still think 149 is just out of the question. But I guess I'll say that I'm feeling inspired enough that 149 could be a goal, because Jeffrey is working on his secret set or something like that. Which, if I may speak my opinion on what that secret set is, I honestly think it's just an extended version of an extended version of Ultimate Chip 6. He's being very secretive with the set, which I like. I can definitely respect the secretness of it, or whatever the word is called. But I do think that is a extended version of Ultimate Chip 6. I don't think Jeffrey would leave that at just 60 levels and call it as a completed set. But I'm not Jeffrey. His mindset is, it changes pretty quick. But yeah, I don't know. What if it's 149 brand new levels, then that's fantastic. But I think 149 levels for JoshL2 might be pushing it. And I'll go ahead and say that if it is 149 I'm going for, it will take a long time. It won't be released for a long time. Because I won't do any interval releases at a set amount or something like that. I would wait till 149 levels are complete. But anyway, there's 58 levels right now. If I stick with 70, I only have a couple more to make. If I go farther to like 80, then you can do the math, but I don't know if I'll extend it. It depends on my inspiration and level ideas I have. They've been kind of vague recently, but I've had a few unique ones. But as far as this level goes, it's just kind of lame. It has a Whirlpool theme going for it with spinny things and the gliders going in a loop and whatever like that. But honestly, it's nothing. It's just kind of eh. Block World, though, is something else. So this level is probably one of my favorite levels in this entire set. And you will soon see why it is. But this level has a pretty awesome theme going for it. Kind of makes you think about Blockbuster in some way, but I honestly don't think I was inspired by it. The whole gimmick with this level is these little block loops. And not much of a gimmick, but one thing I was super proud of and still am proud of to this day is no matter how many blocks you push onto those slides, no slide delay is created. Like, they loop perfectly. And this is just kind of a weird looking maze. I actually might use this configuration for a maze someday. Not sure. But yeah, it's just so cool how the blocks just slide perfectly. It was one of those things I was just so proud of. And it's just so cool. I mean, how many levels can you think of that you see this occurring with? And having to time going on a slide with a block sliding on it too. That actually took some time to rework because I wanted to make the loops long enough to where they're not different. And I guess you don't need the block. I thought I changed it to where you needed to push the block, but I guess I removed the water at some point. Anyway, pushing this red button, so cool. And then you just need one. Get a chip, and then you go around. It's just so cool how this level works. I'm so proud of it. I still am. And the ending is cool. You have to dodge the block while you have the skates. I think this is one of the JoshL2 levels I included in JCCLP. This spot would be way too obvious. Okay, I didn't actually think it was there. So basically the ending, it used to have hot blocks, and that was mean on my part, but I think for CCLP 1 consideration, I changed them to pop-up walls to eliminate the guesswork. Yeah, I guess because I wanted to keep the guesswork factor in, but not actually get killed or penalized for it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's Block World. It's one of my favorite. It's still one of my favorite levels in this entire set, and one of my favorites I've ever designed to this day. It's just a ton of fun. Playing the waiting game is the next level. So the whole idea behind this level when I made it was, what if there was a level out there where you literally just had to wait for a blob to hit a toggle button for you to reach the exit, or a button to clone a block so you can blow up the bomb to reach the exit. Well, I designed that and I thought this would be way too tedious. So I put a teleport in, and you literally just go out here yourself and go press the toggle button, or the clone button. There's nothing else this level has. It's a level that doesn't need to exist. This is honestly a level that should be in JCCLP rejects. That's the whole level. I don't know why it's in this set. Increasing. So this was basically shrinking, but adding instead of shrinking. So yeah, as you progress, the rings get bigger. There's more balls on the slide. Obvious shrinking reference is obvious, and yeah, I can safely say I was inspired by that level of all things. Nothing else to say. I'm really glad I didn't care much about what others thought of my levels back then, but now I think too much about what people think of my levels now. It's something I really need to work on. Point of no return. So this is an instance of guesswork, and I don't remember actually how to solve this level. You have to go get a red key to get the chip, and then you have to go around somewhere else to get to the exit. And this level does take up the whole map. There's long spirals, there's long pathways. It's just a bad level. I don't have much else to say about it. So let's just guess and go to the right. And if for whatever if you are wrong, or you pick the wrong one, then yeah, you get penalized for it. Or not penalized, but you have to endure walking along corridors again. I don't think I was correct, because I don't remember where the key is. Yeah, it's not that. It's not this way. Is it to the left? I don't actually remember. And this is just the longest pathway ever. Still can't see if there's a red key or not. I'm kind of hoping this one does have it. There you are. So now we got it, now we have to walk all the way back to go get the chip. And I think at that point we can exit the level in any direction we go through the teleport in. So yeah, the point of no return, basically that implies the wall you start on. There's nothing else to this level. I just hope I can exit in time now. I don't remember the pathway I took earlier being terribly long. Oh yeah, I can make it easily. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about this level. Let's get out of it. Get that garbage out of here. Double Countercross. So this was the level I talked about when I played Countercross. That was level 20. I made a sequel to it titled Double Countercross. And this is the level. It's except of getting flippers, well, if you get a key and go back to collect some chips, and then you traverse the path again with skates to get the exit. But basically, you go across it like 4 times. It's not double, it's like quadruple. But I included options, as you can see. So you can take the pop-up wall path if you want, or you can be fancy and take the force floors and slide, like boost everywhere, which I failed to do. Basically, if you know, or if you just cook yourself like that, it is pretty tricky to do this completely without screwing up. It is doable though. I'm very glad I included this option. If you need a level to optimize, Jeffrey, here is a level for you. I think this will be fun. So then you just go across it again to go get your skates. I don't know. I definitely think this is better. It's a lot better than the original Countercross. Like, you can even take some shortcuts with the pop-up walls. Like right here. It's definitely not an improvement, I would say, but it's a lot. There's more options available to you. I didn't actually intend on the straight boosting back and forth thing. I actually didn't think people could pull that off, but it's honestly not that hard. To get it done perfectly multiple times, probably, but it's not impossible. Oh boy, Pusher, another heavy block pushing level. I want to say I have at least one in every freaking decade. I think I do. I had blockage blocks in the first decade. I had, what did I have in the second one? I guess technically against the block in the second decade, but that wasn't terribly long. I had double pain and block rage in the third decade, in the 20s to 30s, and I had In the Rocks in the last decade. Now we have Pusher in this decade. I don't know what the one in the 50s decade is. So yeah, this is a freaking level. Here's your happy face, Zane, if you want to do a KJosh number 4 or whatever. Yeah, this is a pretty stupid level. And I think you need every block. I don't particularly remember. Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. You guys have to watch this. I am. It's such a bad level. I don't know why it's a level. It doesn't need to exist. So yeah, going back, since I'm on a heavy block pushing level, the only thing that these levels are good for or is a commentary if you're LPing them. If you're not LPing them, then yeah, you are up a creek on that one. What was I gonna say? I guess I can talk about more about JoshL2. Like, why am I designing it? Like, why is it a thing? Why did I decide for JoshL2 to be a thing when I made it very clear after finalizing JoshL6 Extended, which is just JoshL6, by the way. That there wouldn't be any other JoshL sets. Like, that was the last of my CC1 designs. Why did I design JoshL2? Why did I start it? Well, to be completely honest, I never, even after a couple levels into designing JoshL2, I actually didn't think it would be an official thing. I had originally designed levels for the CCLP1 create competition, the 3 I submitted. I kept in a separate DAT file. And I just thought, well, I mean, I have these 3 levels, let's just design a few more and see what I come up with. If I can come up with a reasonable amount, then I can confirm that JoshL2 could be a thing. Well, I think I got up to like 12 and I released the set as JoshL2. Like, as an experimental thing. Okay, now I actually have to be careful with following these through. How many levels did it have? I had 12. Yeah, it had 12 levels. The JoshL2 I released, and it didn't really get a lot of feedback per se. I know it only had 12 levels, so I shouldn't even expect much feedback on it, but still. So I removed that set, and I think I removed Flareon 1 as well, because... No, I removed Flareon 1 way before then, because of other reasons. Maybe there are extra blocks. There's quite a few. I only need 12 more. That's easier said than done, but that's besides the point. I basically realized that JoshL2 could potentially be a thing, so I thought, okay, let me see what else I can design. So I kind of looked through some other sets for some inspiration ideas. And I got inspired by a couple. I saw a couple wall configurations from a bunch of other sets that I didn't really look through in JoshL6 extended construction. And I thought, well, let's try to use this wall configuration. Let's see what I can come up with. Came up with something like a certain idea I included with that level, and I tried to use that same idea in another level. if not made a soul level with that said idea. And one thing led to another, and I ended up getting up to like 30 levels, and I thought, well, I guess I just might as well say JoshL2 is confirmed to be a upcoming set from me, as opposed to designing more for Flareon 1. And there was this kind of argument in the optimization chat of all things, even though it has nothing to do with optimization, about the CC1 CC2 community split, how it's quote-unquote damaging the community. I said my opinion in that chat, but I never really stated such opinions in a video. And I guess this is best of a time as any to say something about it. I don't really agree with this standard that some people have or expect out of us designers, that we should move to CC2 just because it's a thing. I completely ditch the fact that CC1 exists just to design more and give more attention to CC2. I'm sorry, I'm never going to be on board with that. I don't think that's fair to CC2. I especially don't think it's fair to CC1. I just don't agree with it. And of course I need 3 blocks to get to the exit. As if I haven't done enough block pushing, and yeah, there does seem to be extra blocks. So let's just make this a little easier. My reason for quote-unquote avoiding CC2 design. Alright, I create a partial post so I can have a shortcut of sorts. The reason why I'm quote-unquote avoiding CC2 design is just simply because I'm just not... I don't have enough ideas for CC2 to really come up with decent levels. And just to pinpoint, there are 2 extra blocks, it seems. Because the 2 from the, or 3 extra blocks, sorry. There's 3 extra blocks. 2 from the partial post I created and the 1 that was left over in the initial room. That's Pusher, stupid level. Land of the Blocks. This one's not too bad. It actually has a pretty cool concept going for it. But going back to what I said about the CC2 thing, I need time. I need to actually sit down with CC2 one day and just look at the editor, like new or bad. Like I'm glad the new editor is released and all, and it definitely helps inspire with some designs. I've actually have a few levels unreleased in Flareon 1 to this day. But I just don't... I need to actually sit down and explore every possible mechanic in CC2, like I did with this game. Like after playing CCLP3, I kind of found like a bunch of potential that Chips Challenge 1 can do. And that's what inspired me to design this set and every other set afterwards. I was just inspired by a bunch of different things because I finally realized all the potential this game can have. I haven't really seen... I've seen potential. I've seen other people's CC2 levels, but point being, I haven't seen it for myself. I have to actually play around with different elements in the CC2 editor. I have to kind of explore the glitches and all that stuff that the game has. That's honestly the biggest reason why I don't really do much with CC2 is just the glitches. There's just they kind of hinder the game for me, which, call it however you see it, but I don't think it's a good thing. For being unreleased for so long and finally being released, I would think the game would at least have some kind of patches for it. But I don't know. I can't really say much else. But point being, I need to actually sit down with that game and kind of toy with everything to kind of understand how everything works together. See what can work, see what can't work, and etc. etc. Until I do that, I don't want to design stuff for it just because everyone else is doing it. I did that mistake. I made that mistake when I initially made levels for Flareon 1, and I wasn't satisfied. So that's why I stopped, because I want to wait until I know what I'm doing before I design whatever I want to design. I don't want to make the same mistake I made with this set with CC2 design, basically. So call it if I'm avoiding it, say whatever you want. I'm not avoiding it. I just need to sit down and mess with everything. But until I do that, it's just on the hold. It's on hold. It's not a huge priority to me. And designing CC1 stuff, yeah, I get better enjoyment out of it, yeah. That's because I know everything this game can do. I know how every element works and how everything works together. I don't know how everything works together with CC2. Not yet, at least. So, yeah, this whole CC2, CC1 split, like, oh, ditch CC1 for CC2 just because it's finally released. That's a stupid mindset to have. I'm sorry. You can have that mindset if you want, but that's a stupid mindset, and I'm not going to follow the crowd to have that mindset. I think that's stupid. But let's not get too insulting. I don't intend on that, but that's just my opinion. It didn't need to be mentioned here, no, but I was playing a block pushing level, so why not? Video is longer than it needs to be, so I'm going to end it right here on Land of the Blocks, because Pusher wasn't enough, but this level actually has a pretty cool concept going for it, and we'll play this level and many more to come in the upcoming videos. So I'll see you guys later, and have a good day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. Because time zones, yeah. I'm not drunk or high, I swear.